So people, we are finally back with Arsenal Transfer News Daily. This show which keeps you up to date with all the players that have been linked to the move to Arsenal or away from Arsenal. And I know all the transfer news and the transfer stories have been going around over the last few weeks, but I've been very busy, but now I'm finally available to record this series. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed the last few recorded videos I've done with the potential signings we could take. But now we're going to look at actual news and reports that are circulating around up until the end of the summer transfer window. So, obviously the one deal that everyone got the hissy fit about was Emiliano Buendia, which sort of messed up, didn't it? And everyone got a big jizz over it. But anyways, let's move on and let's get straight into the first piece of news. So the first bit of news, a bit of a contrast because Arsenal fans usually love to go into a meltdown about things, but this first one for me is a bit of a farce, and a lot of people I think do agree with it as well. And it's Ben White of Brighton, as apparently according to David Ornstein, The Athletic, Arsenal are considering to make club contact and about an official bid between 40 to 50 million pounds for Ben White of Brighton and Hove Albion. The same Brighton that nearly got relegated, the same Brighton that conceded a load of goals. Now again, maybe I'm contradicting myself by saying that, oh look, Bissouma's from there as well. Okay, look, maybe, but Ben White, 40 to 50 million pounds. Now, just by the fact of him getting called up to the Euros, has that added like 50 million quid onto his price tag? Because he is nowhere near in this world worth that kind of money. And look, for me, I've said this a lot about Ben White. He's a B-Tech Rob Holding. He doesn't really offer much more than what Rob Holding would already offer. And 50 million quid is an absolute joke. But I'm just reporting what's out there. And we are asking Brighton about a potential bid. Now, according with the centre-back situation at the moment that we do have William Saliba, we have Mavropanos, we have Rob Holding, we have Pablo Marie, we have Callum Chambers. We have Saliba and Mavropanos coming back on loan. So why don't we play them? Why don't we use them? We've got linked to so many centre-backs over the last few weeks, including the likes of Jules Koundé, Ben White. There's some others out there as well. And I just don't see why we're getting linked to these players, because we've got two centre-backs that have been balling in their leagues, are coming back off loan. So I don't see the need for us to get someone like Ben White, especially for the kind of price he's going for. It's absolutely crazy. And do I think anything's going to come of this? Probably not, but I'm just reporting what's out there, and please just don't make this happen. And look, centre-back, I don't think it's a priority this summer. I've said this a lot during my last few months in my videos. I've said that our priorities this summer have to be within that two centre mids, maybe more of an attacking one, maybe more of a defensive one, and we need a right back. I think those three positions we need a lot of improvement on, especially we'll go on to Xhaka in a bit, but him leaving, Ceballos has gone, so those two players that have been playing quite a lot this season will be going, so we need to replace them, and with Odegaard going as well. So that's three players in our midfield that played quite a lot this season are leaving. So we need to get midfielders in, ideally one or two. We'll get into some midfielders in a bit. Quite a lot have been linked actually. So we are going to get into that. But for Ben White, not for me. But leave your thoughts in the comment section. I will know about that. Would you take Ben White at Arsenal? The next bit of news is on Granit Xhaka. Now, his move to Roma is pretty much complete, 100% done, and should be announced probably within the time this video comes out. Hopefully it's announced by then. And Granit Xhaka, now, he's a player that just epitomizes a lot of things wrong with this football club over the last few years. And for me, Granit Xhaka, just get him out the door. And the fact we're getting what I've heard is 18 million euros plus add-ons, for me that's pretty good. Just take the money and run with it, because I certainly would be, because we can use that 15, 16, 18 million quid, put that towards your Bissouma, put that towards the Neves, who we'll get onto in a bit, put that towards those kind of players, and then we can move on. Because I think with Xhaka, he does his talking on the pitch, doesn't he? He's giving it all the big one. Not for me. And Granit Xhaka, he's off. I couldn't care less. I'm excited that he is leaving because, we can actually improve our midfield. Whoever we replace him with will be an improvement pretty much. So hopefully we do bring in the right man in, on a serious note. And yeah, Granit Xhaka is off to Roma, playing with Jose Mourinho, ironically. Two very interesting attitudes and characters. It'll be interesting to see how he does over there in Italy. I think he'll do quite well, but best of luck to him. Not really, but anyways, I'm just trying to be nice. And Granit Xhaka, he's off to Roma. Bye-bye. Next bit of news is on Ruben Neves, who has been linked with a potential opportunity to replace Granit Xhaka at the Emirates. Now, he does play for Wolves, and he does obviously play in the Premier League, with Bruno Lage being replaced as Wolves manager. Again, a Portuguese international who probably maybe look to sell Neves or keep him. But a lot of the rumours that I've been looking at have suggested that maybe Wolves are quite open, actually, to sell Neves in the summer. And my opinions on Ruben Neves. Now, he's got a good long shot, but so does Xhaka. I'm not saying they're the same player. Neves is light years ahead of Xhaka will ever be. But Neves, I think he's a player that he's not a defensive player. I'll give him that. He's sort of a box-to-box player, I would say. He's probably more of a Dani Ceballos-esque player, but more goals in him. Now, if he can add goals to the team, then I'd probably look to try and bring him in. But he has been heavily linked to Arsenal, and the sort of price that would be needed to attract Ruben Neves would be probably in the region of 20 odd million pounds, I would think, 20 to 30. I wouldn't pay anything too ridiculous for him, because I don't think he is, a top echelon player. Maybe under a better manager. Is that Arteta? I don't know. He could be coached into something better, but he has to improve maybe on his defensive abilities. But he does certainly look like a good player, and again, he does play in the league, so he's physically adapted to the league, and I've got no problem with that whatsoever. But I'll probably take him, take him and Basuma. Basuma could be our Xhaka replacement, and Neves could be our Ceballos replacement. That's how I would look at it personally. And yeah, let's just see how we go about this one. But I think I'll probably bring him in. It's a yes from me. But let's see how things develop over the next few weeks. I've got nothing much more to say on this. But yeah, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Would you take Ruben Neves from Wolverhampton Wanderers? Now, the next two players I'm going to talk about them together. Now, they are Locatelli and Rodrigo De Paul. Now, if you do remember this time last summer, I did talk about these two specific players. Now, Locatelli did play last night against Turkey, and I didn't watch the game, but a lot of people that watched the game were telling me he ain't that good and he ain't all that. Now, that screams to me, yeah, he ain't the greatest player. And with Rodrigo De Paul, now he's been linked with Atletico Madrid. Fabrizio Romano's put that out there, around 40 odd million quid. Leeds United were interested. Other big clubs around England as well were interested in Rodrigo De Paul, who does play for Udinese. And Locatelli does play for Sassuolo. Not the biggest clubs, but again, it's the Italian league. You take it with a pinch of salt how good people tell you they are. I wouldn't base stats off them. I haven't watched them, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're amazing or they're not. But if you have seen them, watched them play a consistent amount of times, let me know in the comment section down below how good they are. But in my opinion, I wouldn't sign either of them personally, because what I've heard about Rodrigo De Paul by other people that have actually watched him, that I trust, I've said that he's more of an attacking player. He's not the greatest defensively. A Xhaka-esque player. I say that lightly with a pinch of salt because I've not seen him play, but what I've heard of him seems like a hit and hope sort of player. And same goes with Locatelli. He's defensive minded, but will he bring all that progressively, whereas Xhaka does a bit progressively? It's a bit of a tricky one in my opinion, and I think either of them I probably wouldn't bring them in. That's in my opinion, but again, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I know a lot of people do like Rodrigo De Paul and Locatelli, so you might disagree with me hugely on this one, but personally, I wouldn't. But yeah, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Next bit of news is on another midfielder, and this is about Albert Sambi Lokonga, and Arsenal reportedly considering the Anderlecht midfielder as one of their potential transfer targets in that area of the pitch. The talented 21-year-old looks like a big prospect and has worked his way onto Arsenal's radar after club analysis have been keeping a close eye on him on his progress for some time, according to The Athletic. He's considered a similar style of player to Arsenal's Thomas Partey, so he could be a useful alternative for manager Mikel Arteta in that position. And yeah, that's all we know about him. And a lot of people, look, I'll be honest with you, I don't think a lot of people have actually watched this player. They watch a few comps and a few clips and they think the player's all that. Not for me. And look, I haven't seen him play. I might watch a few comps with him, but again, how much would he cost? 10 million quid at the maximum? Is he a backup player? We got El Neni for that. Big up El Neni. But yeah, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I won't go too much about this player because I really don't know much about him. But leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you guys know a lot about him? The next guy I want to talk about is Alexander Isak. Now, he has been linked to Arsenal and he's a striker playing for Real Sociedad. Now, this has caused a few nerves because I have a good friend who's a Real Sociedad fan who told me about Odegaard, and he's getting a bit annoyed that we could be in for him. Now, apparently, according to many sources, that this interest is quite genuine for Alexander Isak. He's got a release clause of £70 million, and I don't think he's worth that kind of money. I think for what he is, I think 17 odd goals a season. You know, he looks alright for his age. He's 21 years old. You know, he's quite a fast player, quite a physical player. He seems like quite an all-rounded player. I've always admired him to an extent, but again, would we sign him, and who would we be selling to sign him? Would it be selling Lacazette to sign him, Aubameyang? I'm not too sure. But do we need a striker? Because I think if we sell Lacazette, maybe get someone a bit cheaper and give Balogun maybe a bit of a go, because I still think those key areas in midfield is where we need to put money where the mouth is. I think that's what we need to do there. And for the striker positions, try put Balogun in, Martinelli and Aubameyang, because put the right players around Aubameyang and he'll give you the best performances. I'll probably still sell Lacazette, not give him a new deal. But someone like Alexander Isak, I think for the future would be an excellent addition. I think if we have the right opportunity this summer, it wouldn't be a bad signing. I would say anywhere in the region of 25 to 35 million pounds, I'll take him. Would we get him for that much? I'm not too sure, but leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll leave you up to date on all the transfer news for players that are linked with a move to or away from Arsenal. The series is back. Leave a like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.